December 1944. The Allied advance has stalled at the German border. Morale is high. Everyone believes the war in Europe will be over by Christmas. They were wrong. What followed was not just a battle, but a brutal, desperate shock that would become the largest and bloodiest single battle ever fought by the United States Army. This is the Battle of the Bulge, and much of what you think you know about it is a myth. Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. The Battle of the Bulge lives in our imagination as this classic, almost heroic tale. The surprised Americans, the bad weather, the heroic stand at Bastogne, and then Patton's brilliant rescue. It's the quintessential good war story. But when you peel back the layers of propaganda and post-war simplification, you find a far more complex, brutal, and human story. Today, we're going beyond the myth. Myth 1. The complete surprise. The Americans were caught completely by surprise. This is only half true. Yes, the frontline troops in the quiet Ardennes forest were stretched thin, many were green, and they were utterly shocked by the ferocity of the attack on December 16th. But at the highest levels, warnings were blinking red. Allied codebreakers at Bletchley Park had noticed a radio silence from German units. French and Belgian resistance reported massive troop movements. Even Patton's intelligence chief predicted a major attack in the Ardennes. The failure was one of analysis, not intelligence. Allied command was suffering from victory disease. They believed the Germans were broken and incapable of a major offensive. They chose to ignore the warnings. Myth 2. The heroic, unified stand. It was a story of unified, heroic American resistance from day one. The reality was pandemonium. The initial German assault shattered units. There was mass confusion, panic, and one of the largest mass surrenders of U.S. troops in the European theater, nearly 7,000 men at the Schnee Eifel. The heroism was real, but it was often improvised. It wasn't a grand strategy at first. It was small groups of GIs, tank crews, and engineers making stands at crossroads, blowing bridges and slowing the German advance hour by bloody hour. Places like St. Vith and the Elsenborn Ridge, not Bastogne, were the true shoulders that stopped the German spearhead. Bastogne was critical, but it was inside the Bulge. The battle was saved on the flanks. Myth 3. The weather in Patton's miracle. The bad weather only helped the Germans, and then Patton miraculously arrived to save the day. The weather was a double-edged sword. Yes, it grounded the overwhelming Allied air power for the first week, which was a huge German advantage. But it also crippled their own mobility. Tanks got stuck. Supply trucks couldn't move. Their ambitious timetable, dependent on speed, was ruined by the very terrain and weather they'd chosen. As for Patton, his turn north was a masterpiece of logistics. But it wasn't a miracle he conjured in a day. He'd been planning for such a contingency. The real unsung hero was the American logistics system, the infamous Red Ball Express, and the truck drivers who moved an entire army over icy roads in days. And remember when the skies finally cleared on December 23rd? It was the return of the Allied Air Force that turned the Bulge into a killing ground for the Germans. Their columns, stuck on roads, were annihilated. The darkest chapter. The war crimes. This is the part of the Bulge often left out of the heroic narrative. As the German advance, led by SS units like Kampfgruppe Piper, progressed, they committed a series of atrocities against American POWs and Belgian civilians. The most infamous was the Malmedy massacre, where over 80 disarmed American soldiers were gunned down.
In a field, this had a profound effect. News of the massacres spread through American ranks. The official take no SS prisoners order is debated by historians, but a clear, hard-edged mentality took hold. The battle in the Ardennes became even more brutal and personal. This wasn't a chivalrous duel. It was a vicious fight for survival. Conclusion. So what was the Battle of the Bulge? It wasn't a clean, heroic last stand. It was a messy, desperate, and brutally costly American comeback. It showcased both the Army's weaknesses, complacency, poor disposition of green troops, and its incredible strengths. Logistical genius, air superiority, and the ability of individual soldiers and junior officers to adapt and fight like hell when everything was falling apart. It broke the back of the German army in the West, but at a staggering cost. over 80,000 American casualties. Beyond the myth of surprise, weather, and solitary heroism lies the true story. A story of institutional failure and resilience, of chaos and grit, and a stark reminder that even on the road to victory, the path can be darker and more complicated than we remember. What other mythical, historical events do you think need a deeper look? The bombing of Pearl Harbor? The charge of the Light Brigade? Let me know in the comments below. If you want more content that goes beyond the textbook, be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Thanks for watching.